This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
You are listening to the List Building Lifestyle Show. Here is the chief list builder and coffee shop entrepreneur. Is it coffee shop or cafe? Mr. Igor Kheifets.
Coffee shop. That's a coffee shop for sure.
Okay, I want to make sure I get your titles right. I don't want to mess that up. So what's up, Igor?
All good, man. All good. Just chilling in the coffee shop, as you can see, since this is the very first time we're doing this, with video on. Very exciting, very exciting. Yeah, all good. The coffee shop is surprisingly busy today. For some reason, maybe it's the Murphy's Law. I thought, I'm just going to relax today, going to record with Jonathan. And all of a sudden, there's a bunch of people who came in and, they're getting in the way of some good content creation here.
Well, there's a couple things going on because I really wish people could see the video right now because Igor really does record with that white headset that came with his phone, and nobody believes it. Nobody I tell believes that. But you know what I like? I like this background noise. It adds to the authenticity. Like, I don't just talk about working from coffee shops. I actually am in one. But
yeah, and I see no reason why people wouldn't do it, man. Like, honestly, why wouldn't you want to work out of a coffee shop? First off, the first benefit of it is this spacious, really spacious environment. And I can, help you see that too. Like, it's really high ceiling. I mean, you feel like you can breathe. I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so it's really hard for me to stay in a small home office all day long. Second thing, you get to see people. And, although I live in a hick town full of old people and, that's pretty much all I get to see. But occasionally there's a nice waitress that's making her way back and forth. And, there's some good looking people around. But yeah, people watching is fun for sure, man. People watching is definitely fun. And they get to see you. So they're now walking around looking at you and they're wondering, what the hell is this guy doing? He's every day in the same spot at the same table with his laptop. What is this guy? So that's kind of fun too.
So do you think it would ruin like the vision that we've just put together for everybody if we told them we actually added those coffee shop sounds in post-production and they're not real?
I hope not. I really hope not. Because, we recorded so many episodes now, it would be a shame.
Yeah. So what do you have for us today? He's really in the coffee shop, by the way.
Right. So, what I want to chat about today is a problem, a challenge that many marketers experience, especially the ones who promote business opportunities. You see, the thing about business opportunities is that you have no control over the offer, or so it seems. And when it comes to marketing online, nothing can beat a no-brainer offer. And I've seen it time and time again in my own business and in the businesses of my mastermind partners, where if you make an offer that's a true no-brainer, you can really and truly dominate the marketplace. It really comes down to that. Now, the thing about business opportunities, like I said, is that you don't really control the offer at all. So you don't get a say in what's being sold. And I've seen many top earners, just dance around the offer a lot when they're selling something they don't fully believe in. They have to really, go to work trying to explain why this is so awesome. Like, a no-brainer offer doesn't require you to do that. A no-brainer offer you just show it to people and they're like, tell me more, and that's it. It's in the bag. So that is why I wanted to introduce a technique that most business opportunity marketers are not aware of. It's not a new technique by far. It is. Well, I think it's pretty old, but it's effective, just like many other effective techniques. It's almost nothing is ever new under the sun. So the technique is called value stacking. And value stacking basically appeals to the one characteristic or element of the human nature that we often cannot resist, and that is greed. We are a greedy little sons of bitches, all of us. And when we see an offer that really appeals to that, we oftentimes cannot say no. which is why there is a whole segment of the market who are bargain shoppers, and why, I mean, I believe that's one of the big reasons why Amazon is so successful, because it does appeal to that in many ways. So value stacking appeals to greed in a way where you basically take your basic offer, you take your business opportunity, and that's your base level offer, and then you stack a ton of value on top of it by adding additional products and services of your own. Now, of course, this technique requires you to be, I would say, semi-advanced, or at least ballsy enough to offer something of your own, which, of course, most people won't. I understand that. But if you are one of those people who is willing to put their name on the line and who is willing to go to work a little bit, just a bit, in order to dramatically increase your conversions, then you definitely want to stack more value on top of your business opportunity offer, and thus, okay, you're achieving a couple of things. First off, you are creating a better offer. A better offer meaning more conversion, better conversions, right? Again, appealing to the greed element where they're like, oh my God, I want all this stuff. And of course, you should offer things that people want, right? So if you're stacking value that's completely irrelevant, it's not going to work. Now, the second thing you're doing is you're differentiating yourself from the people in the marketplace, which is critical, because the last thing you want to do is to be like everybody else. And it's interesting, John. Are you familiar with with this new course? It's called Masterclass.
I've not heard of that.
Yeah, this thing has been following me around on Facebook for a month until I finally signed up. Which is basically, the idea is awesome. They brought in a bunch of Hollywood and world famous performers and experts, and they set them down in front of a camera and they asked them a bunch of questions about what they do, and they kind of shared their wisdom. So like, they brought in Steve Martin to talk about comedy. They brought in Rhonda something. She's the one who wrote the Grey's Anatomy script, like the entire show. They brought in Kevin Spacey to teach acting. So like, you get people who truly walk the talk to come in and teach you what they do. And it's like an info product, right? And this is, I mean, I think it's incredible, because you pay $97 one time and you have lifetime access to this wisdom from somebody who is a world-renowned expert at something. So anyway, I got 2 of them. I got 2 masterclasses. I plan to get many more, including Gordon Ramsay's cooking masterclass for my wife, not for myself. So nice. The first one I saw was by James Patterson. He's the guy who wrote like a gazillion bestsellers. Fiction. And he said something truly incredible, because he teaches writing. And he says something that really stuck with me. He says, go out, find out what other people have written, read it, and then do everything you can to not write like that. Like, so his advice is basically to see what everybody else is doing and do something else, do something differently. And that's exactly the second thing that value stacking allows you to achieve, which is why, one of the reasons why it's so effective.
So the value stacking, originally, when you were mentioning it, I thought of it as selling my own products, but then that would be the bonuses. But it would work like that in MLM or business opportunity, right? You're selling a main opportunity, and then you add other stuff, whether it's some coaching or additional products on the side of that, right? For anybody that buys from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for instance, I got a friend of mine, Ryan Hauser, a really successful top earner. Now, this guy, just so you get the idea, he can step into virtually any business opportunity, regardless if it's a Bitcoin opportunity or a health and fitness opportunity. Doesn't matter. No matter what it is, he can step in and literally end up at the top 3 positions on the leaderboard overnight. And I'm not exaggerating. This is the kind of person he is. Now, he used to be very successful in real estate. He's a very smart guy. He's an ex-hypnotist, I believe. And I mean, just tremendous marketer, somebody you should definitely study. He's got a program called Ryan University. Now, Ryan University is the very specific example of value stacking in action. Okay, so what happens is Ryan created this program where he's able to promote several income streams at once. And if you join Ryan University for free, you don't even have to pay. What he allows you to do is to take his software for free and use it for yourself and build several income streams all at once. Now, you can only get it if you're working with Ryan. And again, the beautiful part is that he doesn't even charge money for it yet. He's built tremendous teams, tremendous. In addition to that, the other value stacking element is every Thursday, I believe, I might be wrong, but I think every Thursday, Ryan holds a training webinar, like 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours webinars, where he's giving more value in terms of training, in terms of like helping people by showing them how to do things. And that too further promotes the programs. And, he says, and I'm not even sure if he wants me to say it publicly, but I will risk his wrath, by sharing this. He says that these webinars is when the spikes happen. This is when the customers, the prospects, and the team members really decide to go and upgrade their memberships when they get this value. And again, his version of value stacking is not even the same one I've been talking about since the beginning of this call. His version is just, let me give you a bunch of value when you become a part of my tribe. And whether or not you want to join something, it's up to you, because that's you deciding whether you want to make money. I'm going to give you this value on top of it anyway, so you might as well not join, just join for the sake of the freebie. So that's just one example. Another example of value stacking is, the best example of value stacking in action is actually a metaphor that I first heard from Frank Kern, and it will never happen in the real world, but it can and always does work on the internet, which is beautiful. So imagine you walk into a car dealership and you want to buy a Ferrari. And I mean, you have the money to do it, you have the possibility to do it, and you want to buy a Ferrari, and you come in to one dealership and they offer you a Ferrari at $200,000. Not even sure if that's the price range for Ferraris. And then you get out of that dealership, you go into another dealership, and they offer you a Ferrari for $220,000. But they are thrown in a bonus. If you commit to that Ferrari, if you commit to buying that Ferrari, or just put a down payment for that Ferrari, before the end of the day, you will get Rolls-Royce as a bonus. So see what happens here? You buy a Ferrari, but if you buy it today, you get the Rolls-Royce as a bonus, which means the bonus in and of itself may be as valuable or more valuable than the product you're purchasing. So obviously you want to say yes.
Yeah, I actually have a value stack sitting right in front of me right now. It's too bad we're not sharing video with people, but this is the Mastery Journal from John Lee Dumas. And so I was waiting. Russell Brunson just put out his new book, right? He put out his Expert Secrets. I was waiting for it on Amazon. I found out, I went and put my order in, and then I see that he did a bunch of affiliates, right? So a bunch of people were mailing for him. But these bozos, all of them were just saying, hey, get my buddy's new book. John Lee Dumas said, if you go buy my friend's book for $7, I will give you my $40 Mastery Journal as a gift. I said, shit, I was thinking about that anyways. It's $40. It's worth more than the $7 I'm going to spend. So I went and canceled my Amazon order and went and ordered through John Lee Dumas's link, through all that affiliate stuff, and ended up spending more because, of course, I took one of the upsells. I couldn't help myself. But that's the stack, right? Everybody else offered the same exact thing. They all looked exactly the same. John Lee Dumas offered the Rolls Royce on top of the actual product.
Exactly, and this is so critical when you are operating in a fairly small marketplace. Now, that's not to say that the business opportunity space is small. It's actually much bigger than the affiliate space marketplace. But when you are competing against giants, when you are brand new or semi-new, and you're stepping into a company that has, say, 10 different top earners who have reach, right? You have to differentiate yourself, because otherwise there is very little value for the customer to buy directly from you. They could easily go and buy from the celebrity, and most people will choose to do that. In fact, I've seen it time and time again when somebody who's brand new will introduce a potential prospect to the company, but they turn around and they go and they join the top earner. And that's why a lot of the newbies, they are discouraged to start promoting something if they know that, for instance, before they join, they already know that a bunch of other top earners are already in. So they know they're basically stepping in to fight for scraps. And everybody's looking for that new thing that the top earners aren't even aware of. And which is, really, if you think about it, it's unfair, but that's the marketplace. That's the marketplace we're all in.
So is that a way around it? Is the value stack? How does a newbie do that then? If you're new coming in, is it possible to do this value stack? You don't have a reputation. You're against a bunch of top earners. Is there a way for you to stand out using this stack?
Well, obviously there is always a way. But I would say if you are using a value stack, you are dramatically maximizing your chances to make more sales. Now, of course, if you're brand new, the question is how the hell do you create value? Because you have no assets. Chances are you have very little experience, so you can't really use your experience and your mistakes to produce something that's good. So if that's your question, then the answer is very simple, is to either partner with somebody who has value and offer them a piece of the pie, or maybe just pay them a one-time fee for a license to use their value, if you will. And value can be a software product or anything that the potential customer can consider value. Or maybe you can go and you can be smarter about it and you can go and interview a bunch of experts, right? Because that's the easiest way to create an info product. That's the easiest way to create any value. In fact, Tony Robbins used to have this program called Money Masters, I think, where he interviewed Russell Brunson, Frank Kern, Jeff Walker, Eben Pagan, and a bunch of people, right? I mean, Tony created very little of that actual content. All he done, he brought them into his home, whatever the home is. It's a giant castle, right? He put a camera in the room, and he started asking them questions, and all these experts delivered all this value. So naturally, if Tony Robbins can literally take the shortcut, why can't you?
Yeah, and that's actually a model even online right now is what you described as sort of like the summit model now, right? Somebody relatively unknown can put together a summit, get a bunch of experts that they interview out there in front of the crowd who are giving all their knowledge, and then they, by proxy, right, by association, they get some of that expertise, plus they get the content. So I mean, that's actually an excellent model to hack your authority. That's like an authority hack right there.
That's right. I mean, interviews are really, really cool. That's why, here's a damaging admission. That's why I've interviewed guys like, Jeff Hoffman, Mark Manson, and a bunch of others, on the show. You can get the full list of, high-profile interviewees if you go to listbuildinglifestyle.com. Kiyosaki. How could I forget Kiyosaki? Barry Marshall, Ken McCarthy.
You got so many that you've forgotten some.
Yeah, I still do it, by the way. It's really challenging because I have to do it in the afternoons, which takes time away from my family. But every now and again, when the expert is really worth it, I will do it. In fact, one of the future episodes, I plan to interview for the second time, and I'll explain why for the second time, the guy who wrote one of the greatest tribe building books I've ever read, Ray Immelman. Now, this guy, you may have not heard of him, but he's really, really high level in the corporate world, where he comes in as a consultant and helps companies that have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of employees across dozens and dozens and dozens of departments that don't get along, right? So he helps to structure that whole thing back into one healthy organism that is able to push everything forward and achieve new heights and new goals. Now, so the reason I want to interview him for the second time, because the first time I interviewed him, I forgot to hit the record button, which was this. That was a really good interview, by the way, really, really deep interview,
I bet
and I forgot. Yeah, and it was so embarrassing to beg for another one. Dude, this was so embarrassing to beg for that interview again. But he was very understanding, a very nice guy, and he agreed to do another one.
So anything you want to say wrapping up, and then maybe a tease for next time?
Well, next time I want to chat about something that I've been dying to do for a really long time. I will bring actual metrics to the big question. What's better? What's more powerful? Email or Facebook?
Oh.
Right? So now I have data and proof to show you what's used where and what's getting you better ROI, or at least what's getting, in general, a better ROI for the entire industry.
Ooh, I can't wait, especially since this is List Building Lifestyle. All right, so that is a wrap for another episode of List Building Lifestyle. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Igor, for sharing your insights with us, and we'll be back next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.